Sure, my buddies will understand if I'm late. Morning everybody, Mike from FisherMN here, back at it early, but you know what? In the summer it's hard to beat the sun. I'm actually here at about 4:30 a.m. and you can see the sky's getting light out there already. Great day to fish today, got some good weather. I was here just 2 days ago and the big fish were biting, but a storm came through. So this is Day 2. There are 2 lakes that are connected and I didn't get a chance to try the second lake. So that's where we're gonna go first, and then if things work out well there, we're gonna go back to the first lake and see if we can complete our mission that got rained out last time. Either way, it's just great to be out. Let's go fishing. All right, here we are on the water. We beat the sun today. Tough to do early in the summertime. Gotta try for a landing monster. It's one of my favorite kind of mornings. I call it a cool mugginess. It's like in the 60s, but it just has this heavy feel to it. All right, so I mentioned in the opening, it's a continuation the last day that I was here. One thing I didn't get to do was go over to the second lake over here. So I'm going to take a couple of casts here on first lake, then we're going to head over to second lake, start there, and if I have some time at the end of the day, I'm going to go back over here to first lake because we got cut short due to weather and I was 1 short of my 5 fish limit and we were working on a really nice limit. So I'm going to see if I can get 1 more over there if we have time. If that's how the day works out. I'm hoping that I can get 5 on the other lake. So we'll see. We'll see how the day unfolds. Just great to be out. You might notice the new blue catch boards in front. I went with the catch boards and the steering handle. Decided to spice up the old kayak a little bit. My plastic steering handles had cracked and Hobie plastic steering handles are expensive, so I thought, well, I'm going to spend a little bit on handles, might as well get some real heavy duty ones. So I'll let you know as the summer goes on how they're working out. One thing I'll mention too is I have about 5 hours to fish. I'm meeting some buddies for lunch. So I'm about an hour away from home. And I'm meeting up with them around where I live, and I'm meeting them at noon. So there you go. Reason number 52 that it's hard to fish with FisherMN. Got to get up too darn early. All right. I was hoping to maybe complete part 1 of my mission early here today and get 1 more fish on this lake. We'll have to do it later because our main goal is to fish lake number 2 here. All right, we got lake 2. All casts moving forward count for lake 2 until we get back to lake 1. Guess if I had to name a goal for this lake is to catch 5 keepers. Usually a keeper in a tournament would be 12 inches, but we're gonna up it, say 16 inches. Can we get 5 16 inches at least or better? I think that a buzzbait might be a good one to try. I always gotta start with the frog, if you're me anyhow. Wasn't sure if I had them, but we got them. For whatever reason, I always use a Kalen's tickle tail series swim bait. Got a buzz bait here. I'm not sure exactly what brand it is. If I start catching monsters on it, I'll try to find out which one it is for you. Give it a little bit of a change of direction. All right. Got another chunker here. Going in the right direction. Nice belly on that guy. All right. Nice when they hit like 3 feet from you. That time I just kind of did a little change of direction. Sometimes if you got a follower, that might trigger them. Or maybe it was that I just finally got to them. Another way to kind of give it different action is to give it a little bit faster turn of the knob. There we go. That's a bigger fish. Took it in just real quiet. Oh, not a monster. A good chunker. Nice fish. It's amazing. You'd think they'd explode on it. This guy just kind of came up and went. There we go. There we go. All right, let's get a measurement on it first. 17. Got 17. Let's get a weight on this guy. 3 pounds. That is a nice 17-incher. All right, nice big belly on him. Here we go. Buzzbait fish, loving it. So that's 3 fish in a pretty short span. We got a nice little window here before the sun comes up. And it's not a buzzbait I've used a lot, but I'm really liking how it actually just kind of, you can kind of slow it down a little bit. It's nice and light in the water. I think we all watched Roland Martin growing up and Bill Dance, and a lot of times those guys, it seems like the fish were just exploding on their lures. Maybe that's just what we remember. But those bigger fish, sometimes they just kind of roll right over it. How are we running? It's always good to check it after you catch a fish, because many times the wire gets bent and you got to kind of bend it back to the way it was. Got this stick right in front of me. Let's go right over the top of it. Watch how it just goes right over it. Yeah, that's the nice thing about a buzzbait. You got the one hook sticking up in the back, and that's it. All right, plunk a few frogs in here. See if there's anything hanging out in the lily pads. I always talk about this old timer that told me about this corner of the lake, and you probably have never heard about it on the channel because I never get anything over here. So I want to prove him right. I want to prove that there's some big fish over here. There we go. I figured there had to be something in there. All right. 5-pounder? Nope. but a nice one. This guy is just sitting in there waiting for things to get washed down the river. I could definitely see with the right conditions that maybe you could have something really good going on over here. Got to get a better angle so I can catch in there, but maybe there's another one or two. Crank it way back there. It'll fall in. All right, here we are, bladed jig, jackhammer, 3/8 ounce, clear water shad with a sight flash power stinger off the back. Let's go, big fish time. Just kind of follow where the weeds kind of lead us. Where they kind of loosen up a little bit. And fish right on the edges. I feel like in the morning time the fish are just kind of cruising those edges. There's a fish. Yep, kind of felt like a northern when he hit. Slashed at it. But you know what? It's not a northern. Oh my goodness. I feel like I've been here before. Look at this guy. We got a walleye. This is my second nice walleye on this area. Let's see, the keeper size is very specific on this lake. Wow, 18 3/4. Let's go. Minnesota State fish. Felt different than a bass hit, but then it took a run like a northern. I tell ya, I think this is the new secret walleye bait. I've caught more walleye on the bladed jig. It's amazing. That's pretty cool. Nice surprise catch. Finding some action with the bladed jig. Well, something wanted my power stinger. It just took it. I've got some of my favorite trailers out, and those are the electric shad power stingers. They got kind of the gray to match the bottom of this, but then, I don't know if you can see that, but they got some nice blue flash to them. Let's see if that fires up some fish. All right, this was kind of a deader area the first time through. I'm gonna go out a little bit, see if we can find a deeper weed line to fish this chatterbait. Because the bass that we caught were coming up a little bit further up on the shoreline, but maybe until we get there we can find something a little deeper. If anything, I bet Mr. Northern will be out here. I'm a little worried that that buoy out there means that they bombed this whole area for weeds, because usually there's a nice defined edge out here. And right now there's nothing. You know, don't they know they should consult me before they get rid of my weed line? Maybe post a comment. How do you feel about lake associations and the weed bombs that they use and that kind of stuff? Oh, what was that? Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. I did not get a good hook set, and that's a big bass. That is a big bass. Come on, baby. Oh no. There we go. Wow. This guy is a giant. Look at that. Whoo. coming up on this buoy just to check out what it's all about. That is gigantic. And he hit it on the way down. I just started reeling my line up and it was tight because there's not really much around here. Wow. All right. Just touching 20. Nice. 20-incher. First 20-incher of 2025. 4 pounds, 3 ounces. All right. Big fish to the boat. Thank you, thank you. Well, there is nothing down here. I was going up to that buoy to see, you know, what it's all about, if it's a pesticide or what. And voila, that thing hit. Just swallowed it. I had thrown it out. I forget what I was doing, but then I started reeling and my line was just tight. Nice fish. Wonder if it was kind of spawned out though, because it really didn't have a ton of weight. The other day when I was out, I caught an 18-incher that was over 4 pounds. Great fish. All right, maybe that buoy is just marking where the big fish are. I do notice some panfish marks too, so I mean, it doesn't always have to be weeds, it's just some kind of food source for the fish. Ha! Glad I came out here. I almost went straight in because more towards shore because there wasn't any weeds. Is this just a floating thing? Nope, it's tethered down. Get a shot of it and then read it later. Let's duck in, see if we can find the weed line, see if we got some active fish. Man, I tell you, catching a 20-incher in Minnesota, that's a nice fish. I like going to the lakes that have a lot of big fish in them. And this lake's one of them. There we go. Oh, northern. Nice northern. Swam right into the net. Thank you, Mr. Northern. And he's off. There he goes. Went down the shore. Got a nice 17-inch bass. Nice over 18-inch walleye. Some northerns. Came back this way. A couple of small northerns, a small walleye, and a giant 20-inch bass over there by that buoy. I might come back to this shore, but I'm gonna try another shore here and see if we can get a couple more keeper bass in the boat. Going over to this shore is going to give us a little bit more of the early morning feel because the trees will kind of shade the shoreline. So maybe we can throw this chatterbait in tight and get a couple more bass. All right, back over to our buoy spot. I didn't have the camera on and I did quite a few casts, but nothing. So third time over here, kind of the buzzbait first time through, the bladed jig second time through, and this time regular jig with a max scent power bait chigger craw on it. It was a great idea to think that I could maybe do a video where I came over here and I caught 5 keepers, and then I went back over and I got my last keeper from the other day. But you know what? I don't know that I'm gonna have time to chase 5 keepers on this lake. But what I do know is the other lake was putting out some monsters the other day when I was here. So maybe what I'm gonna do is just try to get a great limit for today, because you know what? We got a 20-incher on this lake, which is amazing. So I've got probably an hour and a half left of fishing before I have to go. I'm gonna go over to the other lake and see if they're still biting. Love to fish these isolated pads. Actually, the best way to do it, actually the most fun way to do it, is with the frog. See if we can get another big guy in the boat. Let's get a big 5-fish limit for today. There we go. Got a bass. All right, got a nice one. Thought I'd just throw it to an open spot. Nice. Good fish. Ooh, just barely had him hooked. Ooh, he's been through a little battle. Got some scars. 18 3/4. Beautiful fish. So I was throwing at these isolated pads, and I'm coming up to the channel where the other day it worked so good. And I thought, you know what, I'll just throw one kind of out. Maybe we got some cruisers out here. Our wind that I believe was helping us is gone. Do a quick check across here, see if we can pick up 1 or 2 maybe. There we go. Man, these little ones, when they grab it, they inhale it. There we go, future 20-incher. That one looked a little bigger. Be a bass, hopefully. Be a bass. Nope. Ooh. There we go. There we go with the chunker. All right, good fish. Man, those northerns pull. Fish on. Man, there are lots of big northerns around today. Whew. This guy's pull in. Look at that guy. Wow. Nice northern. For me, it's almost easier to grab them sometimes than put them in the net. Those bigger ones have kind of thick shoulders, so you can just grab them right behind the head. Love that action. Multi-species today. We got walleye coming to the boat. We got bass coming to the boat. We got northerns coming to the boat. There we go. Fish on. It's got some weight to it. I'm not even going to try to guess. For all I know, it could be an 8-pound walleye. Got a nice bass. Okay. This guy isn't super long, but he's a chunker. All right. This will be our 4th to the limit for today. 17 and a half. 3.2 pounds. Another 3-pounder. Look at that chunk. Beautiful. It's so funny because I used to hate when it was windy because all I'd want to use is a frog. And so this kind of day I would just grind it out and throw a frog until 2 in the afternoon. But now I kind of like when there's a wind. Oh, interrupted by a fish, which is always a good thing. Oh, there's a nice bass. Wow. Just hammered that jackhammer. Oh. Okay. I always love it when they give you a big jump. Whew. Yes. Look at that guy. My theory about wind has been interrupted by a bass. All right. 3 pounds, 5 ounces. 18 3/4. That's a long, lean guy. All right, 18 3/4 inch bass. Awesome. That is a nice flurry here late in the day. Don't have a ton of time left. Always nice to have our 5 in the boat. Just looking for one more random one. I'm gonna fish all the way in, but you know what? Sometimes plans change. So I came to the lake thinking I'm gonna go over to Lake 2 over there and get a limit, and then get one more to my limit on this lake and put it in the original video I had where I was kind of rained off of this lake. But it didn't quite work out. What did work out was getting a 20-incher over on that other lake and the start of a good limit, and then finishing it up over here. So you add a nice limit of bass to some big northerns to a couple of walleye, and guess what you have? You have a great day of fishing. I'm hoping for lots more great days of fishing. I got my buddy Paul this Friday coming up. We're gonna hit a lake. And then next week, I will be in Grand Rapids for the whole week. Looking forward to that. I appreciate you watching this video. And I will see you on the next one. A couple more casts and we gotta go. There's a fish. Sure, my buddies will understand if I'm late.